they're worried about, about liability and what if something happens and all that. And there are some limitations on that stuff, by the way. You actually, I was going to go into this in this presentation, but I'll just mention it really quick. But there is in almost every policy you'll ever read, little exclusions in there. These nasty exclusions. One of them says vacant or unoccupied. So if it's 30 days or more, greater than 30 days, vacant or unoccupied, they will limit their exposure. They won't cover things like a water loss, vandalism, things like that.
So if you go on an extended vacation?
Nope, that's not unoccupied though.
Okay.
So if you have seasonal homes, there's a different policy for that entirely also. So we have people that split 50-50, so I can still write them as a primary. So sometimes they'll have a house up here on the island, and then they'll live in California. I have actually quite a few of those, and so we work with them on that. But you can get in a lot of trouble with that. People will have that happen to them, and I hear it all the time. They're like, I get calls from people, and I'm not even sure, like, hey, they told me to call you, and I explain to them, at least from a claims standpoint, that yeah, that's accurate. So just got to be careful. The reason I gave you guys this little thing, this was where I was going to start. Of course, we're going to start the presentation, but with my technological problems, we'll just kind of wing it. So Facts of Your Life, this booklet documents every single thing for your family. So you'll see it has documents, assets, online access. So your online access, a lot of times people have everything online, but how do you get into it? If something happened to you today, would somebody be able to access the important stuff that you have in your life to be able to handle your affairs? Probably not. We don't share that with people really, right? So there is a way where we have people fill this out, and a lot of times, people have this stored in a locked place, maybe in a safety deposit box, things like that. This will make your family's life really easy if they have all this information at their fingertips. We get that a lot where people can't access things, and it takes forever, just delays everything. And they're already in a situation where it's obviously somebody's died or passed away. It's not the best anyways. That I just want to kind of hand you just kind of like a little thing, kind of show you a little bit about what we try to do to kind of add a little bit more to our service and what we do. 800 number, all they care about is just selling you a policy. They don't care about anything other than price. They're not there to help you. Mostly what I see is them strip away coverages that they don't even mention, and they don't really talk about it and give you an informed information so that you can make a decision. They just say, oh, we can just do this, it'll get down to this price. You're like, oh, that sounds great. You have no idea what you just waived. And the reason I was going to go over that is because I did have a presentation where I was going to show you some pictures of a house. We just had a total, pretty much total fire loss down in Puyallup area. I mentioned it before. My friend Kate who called me, and they happened to be all out of the house at that time, which was good. There was a wiring junction box that was in their garage in the back, and it went to nothing. There was no outlet there or anything. It must have been something at some point, but it was just covered up in the wall. You couldn't even see it. It was in the very back of the garage. And that somehow shorted out, caused a fire there, and the whole thing went up in smoke. And literally the pictures that I had, it's just everything's charred. She just posted, and this is the thing, she just posted yesterday. Okay, this happened in August. She just posted yesterday how she was super upset that her Wonder Woman Christmas ornament was gone, and in fact, all my ornaments are gone. She's looking at Christmas stuff, getting ready. All of her family ornaments are gone. All her stuff is gone. Literally, she has to start all over again. And there's a lot of history. I know you guys, hanging those things on your tree. Sometimes, over the years, we have things like, my mom still hangs up the one when I was in Boy Scouts. It's a horrible photo, but it's great. I love it. It's this little be below thing, whatever. And, it's terrible. So anyways, things like that, those are the things that they start to remember as months go by, as the years go by. And there's a household inventory. And the reason I kind of gave you this documentation is because this has to do with doing the inventory of our lives and things like that. People do not take time to protect what matters most, and that's their family. And taking time to put into actual documentation on what actually they have. Because when this fire loss happens, see, Kate didn't remember it. That happened in August, right? She's not remembering stuff. She's looking back through. She's not going to remember all the ornaments, but she's starting to remember this stuff now. And these things are starting to flood over. She's like, oh, and that, and that, and that. And if we have an inventory, and I go over this with every client, please, there's this app that we have called Allstate digital locker. You just go around and just go take pictures. You just plug it in. You don't got to do it all at once. You can do it as you go. And people are always like, gosh, it sounds so time consuming. I'm like, really? I guess they're probably like 2 hours on the couch, watching some, rerun of Law and Order or something, to be done. But anyways, so, if you do that, it makes your life a lot easier. It makes everything else run smoother. So we've already paid out over $100,000. Okay? We've already paid out over $100,000. We haven't even started to rebuild the house. Okay? That's a lot of cash, and that has to do with their personal property. We've written checks for $50,000, $8,000 additional living expenses. They're going to have to live in a house. They have 3 kids, three beautiful kids. They have 2 girls and a boy. They'll be able to stay in this house, though. They won't pay extra. They just pay their mortgage as normal. We pay all the additional extra living expenses. So we're paying all of that, plus we're going to replace all of their personal belongings, plus we're going to rebuild their house, okay? She will never complain to me again about her insurance rates. If she does, I will scream at her, but I'm just kidding. But no, she will not. She's an old good friend of mine, but the one thing she says when she called, actually when I picked up, I thought it was just, hey, another high school buddy call, and I was like, hey, just kind of, hey, what's up? And just sobbing. She couldn't even get my name out, and I thought somebody had died, and I said, what's going on, and she said, she was literally watching her house is burning down, and that's a helpless feeling. You're watching your house burn down. And that's the point of the 800 number thing I was going to bring up, is that no one there, the first thing she's doing, she's freaking out, she's calling me, I'm her agent. On my business cards, you'll notice I put my cell phone on there. I do that because of situations like this. It's not just old high school buddies, everybody has access to that. So if it's an emergency, something happens, I get calls late, I need to know what's going on. I need to know, is there a tree that just fell through your house? Did somebody just die in a car wreck? Did your house just burn down? Things like that. If you call me about a billing question at midnight, we might have some words. Yeah. But that can wait. But I'm just saying. I'll be nice, but we'll take some corrective measures on that one. So, I'm probably up anyways, to be honest. So with that, so she calls me, though, and the thing she did say to me, and it really made me feel really good, she said, Brendan, she called me the next day, and she goes, she was embarrassed, of course, because she was sobbing. I'm like, hey, whatever, don't worry about it. You just lost your house. You just watched your stuff burning to the ground. Your family's there. They found all their cats. I couldn't believe it. All their cats got out. She's cat freak. Anyways, and she loves her little cats. And so anyways, they found all their cats, and then she said, Brendan, I'm so glad you're my agent. When she said that, I thought, this is why I do what I do, because I help people in the biggest moment of need that they have, when stuff is completely wrong, and they're just really freaking out. They know that they can call me. I'm a calm person in that storm's going, no problem, I got you covered. And that's the thing, we did reviews, and I have them covered. She also got a policy type, which is good. That was part of the presentation I was going to show you on that video, was we have certain things that other companies don't have. And our company is about, about protecting people and doing what's right for them, not about, saying, hey, look, we can save you 25% for less coverage, or worse coverage, things like that. Because let's face it, Kate was not out there looking at her house burning going, yay, I found the cheapest insurance I could find online. It's like no one ever says that. The thing they're looking at is, oh man, I hope I have enough coverage, and they start worrying. But with me, that was one thing she did not have to worry about, because she knew I did my job. So they are completely covered. This claim's going to go into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. We won't max out because we had adequate coverage, but they're going to have a lot of money going out. This is probably going to be a $500,000 claim, and they paid, maybe less than $1,000 a year for their homeowners for the last couple of years. That's we don't want to burn your house down to have this experience, obviously, but honestly, this is why we have insurance. Insurance isn't for the maintenance stuff. Insurance is for things like this. That's the other thing. Yeah.
What caused this fire?
What?
What caused this particular fire?
Well, most of the fires that we see, honestly, the 2 top ones we see are wiring, believe it or not. That's a big one like this. You wouldn't think so. We're kind of a newer, if you look at the East Coast, there's some really old wiring. But over here, we still have a lot of knob and tube and things kind of spliced together. And that's the thing is, you don't know. Michael can test this. Michael's not busting walls open to see what's going on. He can only see the panel and see the outlets and things like that, things that are visible. And you don't know sometimes what's in the middle of those walls. We won't know. Something will happen, then we'll find out later. And we'll be like, wow, what is this? And we don't know. Sometimes people have a buddy splice stuff together, oh, we won't spend $10,000. My buddy Jim can do it for $1,000, and they do it, and then you have no idea. So that is a problem. But the other one that we have is, of course, your friendly fire or unfriendly fire. So I've hit that. That's gonna keep ringing. So anyways, so that's what somebody builds a fire in the fireplace, something like that. And that's why I mentioned that thing about the inspection that you were talking about, Michael, on the inspection, because all that soot coming down. If you have a fire in the fireplace and the chimney and it ignites, that doesn't happen a lot. But we do have friendly fires where somebody leaves a candle out, leaves a fireplace going, some little ember, some little spark, something. That includes barbecues on decks. There's a reason that all the complexes now have this rule pretty much everywhere around here. In the Northwest is no barbecues allowed on the deck that are charcoal. They're propane, they may let you. Some of them won't let any barbecues on the deck, period, because their insurance claims rates are huge. And the insurers that insure those big complexes are like, you have to put this in writing and this is your contract. That way they have some legal liability against the people if they end up doing something. They can sue their policy. That's one of the reasons they're requiring renters insurance also. Anyways, but there is a problem. Anyways, I won't get into that claim because there's some problems there where we'd be like, sorry. Does anyone have any questions before we wrap up? And that was kind of a lot of info real quick. But I just want to kind of show you there's a little bit of difference between us and some other companies.
This is fantastic.
Yeah,
I think that every insurance company is remiss by not, if they don't give people.
Yeah.
Make sure you got that locked up safe.
Yeah, you have to. That's the one thing is that this is why I say, like, that's why I mentioned the safety deposit box or something like that. It has to be somewhere where it's not accessible, because this is going to be
in the house.
access. Yeah, because most people walk around with it up here. They think this is the safest place ever, and that's it, right?
Until it's gone.
Until it's gone, literally.
And we have those.
Yeah, and it happens. Yeah, it happens a lot.
No, we have safety deposit boxes.
Yeah, and no, but you also have people where have you ever seen those things, the unclaimed money in Washington?
Yes.
Billions of dollars.
Yeah.
This is why. There's people that have no idea that their family had life insurance. No idea. And sometimes they never know, and that insurance just lapses because there's no payment, goes away, there's no notice, and that's it. And so the insurance company collected all those premiums and paid nothing because no one made a claim. They don't know what's going on. They don't know. They're not going to go out and proactively seek and try to find an obituary and match up people. And that's just insane. Yeah, no. So make sure people know what you have, where it's stored, what's going on, so that if something does happen to you unexpected, because we all want to get to old age and pass, in our sleep or something, right? But the reality of life is that, right?
How many people don't fill this out? How many people
Tons of them.
don't follow through? So that'd be a good business thing for somebody to start up, to make people follow through.
Oh yeah. Because I hand them this and they're just like, and I'm like, look, just, it's like just a household inventory. We have an app. Just got to point and click and mark it down, and I have enough problems trying to get people to do that. I'm just like,
and they're already taking 10 selfies a day.
10, yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Quit taking your selfies. Take your selfie with your TV and be like, 60-inch flat screen, yo. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Just stand in front of the object.
Anyway, so
yeah.
I could go on and on for days. So that's the 10-minute presentation.
Question for you, real quick. You said that Allstate has a digital lock.